welcome back to another video. In today's video we'll be doing a sketchbook speed paint drawing, I guess, but instead of it being digital, it's traditional in my actual sketchbook that I have not touched in so long that I actually honestly feel ashamed. But either way, this video idea came from a video where I was seeing a girl drawing, but she was like, the main reason for the video is that she went to the store and she saw some new art supplies and she was going to buy them, but then she remembered that she already had art supplies at home and it would have honestly been a waste of money to buy new art supplies when she already had at home. And it reminds me of when I went to the store with my best friend, and I looked at this really dirt cheap acrylic art markers, and she was like, oh, these aren't good because of the price. These aren't good. If you carry them home, they would immediately either explode or they wouldn't work because they're not good because they're cheap. But I honestly would have given them a chance because they could be dirt cheap and be average or alright. But then I remembered I already have markers, alright markers, markers that kind of are respectable, I guess. They're deli markers and watercolor pencil crayons at home that I bought out of my own money, and I had this really dirt cheap oil pastel set at home. Yeah, it's broken because I kept trying to use it, but I just didn't have an excuse to use it. So I remember I had these at home. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home and use them. Well, the video reminded me that I had them, and then I was like, you know what? Let me go and put down this animation that I was working on because it was starting to annoy me, and I don't know, I wanted to put down my phone and do some traditional art. And also I have this it's kind of new method of thinking where if I'm not having fun with an art piece or I'm bored or something, I would typically put the art piece down, go walk, go eat something, because typically when I'm doing art I typically forget to eat something, relax, come back. But for me, I was a bit bored with the piece. I was tired of looking at my phone, and so I put down my phone and went to take out my sketchbook and go do some art there. What you previously saw was my old sketchbook. I completely forgot I'm supposed to commentate on the video. What you saw was my old sketchbook, and that's basically my reference for the piece, because these were two characters I randomly drew to test out art supplies on, and my friend looked at them and went, yep, I shipped them. And honestly, I drew a whole page dedicated to them, which I just showed you, of them hanging out and doing shit. That now I look back at it and I cringe because the art was not good, and I was genuinely proud of this too. That's the burden of living near the road in a city. Shit sucks. Either way, I was genuinely proud of that piece. Oh my god. And now I look back at it and I just ooh, girly pop, that looks like shit now. No offense, but full offense. Either way, that was the entire reference for this entire piece. So they don't really have much depth or character. Honestly, they're just two characters that I draw to test out shit on. So honestly, it's fitting that they are the first things in my new sketchbook that gets colored on or really get tested on, because I really want to test how the page absorbs, or how well the page deals with the marker and how bad the bleeding is, which I will show you throughout the video. I was checking to see if the pen, because in my old sketchbook I think even the pen marking would bleed through the page, which sucks ass, which is why my sketchbook was mainly just sketching. So I was checking. Those are the markers I was talking about, the deli marker that I'm going to be trying out for this video. And to me, they're fine. Not professional $400 whatever thing. As you see, a while ago I was checking the bleeding on the page to see if it will bleed to the other page and mess up the other page, but like whatever. Also, you can kind of see a mistake here where I'm not sure what happened, but the marker and the pen did not agree right there, and you can see it, and it's bugging me. You can see the black. Oh, it's bugging me. I kind of fix it later on. As you can see, it kind of bleeds through the page, but it doesn't bleed onto the other page, if that makes sense. If you look at the underside of the page, obviously I can't draw anything there because it bled through, so I can't draw anything there. But on the other page, it's perfectly fine. So whatever. Either way, as I was saying, yeah, so I got bored of looking at my phone and decided to, come do some traditional art, which the thing is, I was trying for weeks trying to do traditional art, but like I don't know why, but the inspiration wasn't there. I was trying to draw another OC character, but like it wasn't clicking, and I wasn't going to draw fan art again, even though I don't have a problem with drawing fan art. It's just I don't want to draw that again. I'm going to draw that another day. On the other page side, like I keep getting easily distracted. Jesus Christ, I need a script. On the other side is like a little collage journal of like a beach trip that I went on, and like stuff that I did. Well, not stuff that I did, there's no pictures of me, but like, we went to the beach, we went to somewhere to eat, and like I bought something, so I took the receipt and I took what I bought and like pasted it in the book to like remind me, even though I didn't want to go on the trip because I didn't have any friends to go on it with. But it was alright. It wasn't the best, but it was like, it's alright. I had my phone, I had my AirPods, I might have said I had music, so I was fine. Either way, I kind of don't like the way that it's not centered. Also, the way I filmed this was that I had to use my front camera because my back camera is broken, so I couldn't really see shit. So I want to buy a digital camera. It's about $3,000 in my currency. I'm not gonna tell you. It's $3,000 in my currency. That's about like 30, about in that range. Jesus. I honestly think picking a Saturday to record the audio may have been the worst day to pick because of the, how active people are. But either way, it's about $3,000 for like one. So I'm gonna save up when school starts. Well, not school, college, because I'm a big girl when college starts, to buy one, I guess. Or y'all can donate one. Either way, I'm finished. If you see me take like long pauses, even though I edited out of the video, there's gonna be some places where I pause to make the marker dry, because if you don't do that, you're going to make your page more likely to tear and the color to bleed out of the line art, the pen mark. Also, what I did here was like a little bit of swatching, because I was trying to swatch in my old sketchbook, but it wasn't giving me a good enough look, so I just decided to open the back of my book. Yes, I have a sketch swatch sheet. Jesus Christ, I have a swatch sheet for markers and pens, for the pencil crayons, but I lost it and I mixed it up, so I'm gonna have to do it all over again. But also, I don't have the patience. That's 23, because I lost one of the markers. 23 markers and 36 pencil crayons to go through. I'm not doing that, honey baby. I'm not doing that. So what I do is typically when I'm going to, plus the thing is, even when I have a swatch sheet, what I tend to do, even when I have a swatch sheet, is I'm gonna swatch it again to make sure. You'll see, like, I take the same pencil crayon and swatch it, or the same marker and swatch it over and over again, just to be sure. Because one time when I was doing my old art piece in my old sketchbook with the markers, I didn't swatch it and I used the wrong color, even though I thought it was the correct color, and that pissed me off. So ever since then, I keep re-swatching the shit to check to make sure it's the correct colors. Either way, you can see that it bleeds to the other side of the page, but it doesn't bleed onto the other page, which is good. That is great. Also, what you see me doing is because I don't have a yellow marker, I use my yellow pencil crayon. And also what I'm doing is, on top of the markers that I lay down, I'm adding pencil crayon for a little bit of depth. I know if I wanted, I could actually use the pencil crayon to add actual good effects to the drawing, but I'm not that professional as yet. You're gonna have to bear with me until I reach that level of professionalism or whatever. My train of thought is all over the place. You're gonna have to bear with it. I am so sorry. Anyway, I tried to add some shadow to the hair, I think, and add some shadow to the skin. I don't think it's really that good, but as stated before, this is just like a testing of like my art supplies. It's not gonna be the best artwork ever. It just has to be decent. Also, for the other girl's outfit, I'm gonna be honest, I did not know what I was doing with her outfit. Her outfit was originally supposed to be an ice cream. That's why her hair is like that. Oh my god, I should add sprinkles to it. I might edit the drawing later and add sprinkles, but whatever. Her outfit was supposed to be ice cream flavored. Also, at some point my battery died on my phone and I just skipped ahead, so if that happened already, now you know, or it could happen in the future, but whatever. As I was saying, her outfit originally was supposed to be ice cream thing, but because of the way it looks and because of the way I drew it, I didn't really get that across, and I wasn't really in the mood to try and like deal with all of that, so I just decided to throw some colors on her. Green and pink, baby. Kind of reminds me of Fluttershy now that I think about it, honestly. Anyway, again, I'm swatching the pencil crayons because you may think the color that is on the pencil is what you're gonna get. It is not. I have fallen for that when I was drawing my old sketchbook, where I would take the pencil crayon that looks like red and mark it, and it's not red. It's like, I don't know, another shade. Or I'm going to give a more realistic example, like the blue marker in my set that I thought was blue and I could use for her hair, until I swatched it and realized that bitch is orange. So no. So I didn't bother. Either way, I swatch everything before I used it. I would recommend you do that too. Either way, I have lost track of my thoughts so much because there's so much things going on in this video because of how much I like sped it up. But like, this took me hours. Like, it took me so long. Like, I started this drawing at like what, 8, I think 8, 9, and I finished like after 12. It took me this long. Honestly, you could ask me what I'm doing and I could not tell you. Honestly, I don't know what took me so long. I am not a good artist. Please bear with me. Yeah, wait, I'm gonna stop talking for now. Bye. Right here when I was adding the green outline to add a shadow, it kind of pissed me off. I don't think you can really see it on camera that much, but some of the green went into the hair and onto the arm, which pissed me off. Also, you can see the bleed through isn't really that bad, which makes me really happy. Also, her eyes, the other character, the pink hair character's eyes, I don't like how they look. It was after I inked and colored I realized I didn't like it, because she doesn't really look like she's looking at the other character. Those are the oil pastels I was talking about. Really dirt cheap, but they do their job. Which is that I typically use them as outline. I know it's not used in its correct way, which is when I look it up, I see a lot of people making like beautiful art with it, and it's like, oh, touch my soul. But these are really cheap, like dirt cheap. And it was like, I'm not really that type of artist. I'm not really that good at art. So what I typically do is I use it as an outline. to like, because what I see is like a lot of people add like, you know, a bit of pop to their art by adding a background color. So that's what I do. I added this what color, it was like orange yellow. I probably should have added more to it, or I shouldn't have blended it out, but like that's the main point of it. It's supposed to be blended out. So I blended it out. That is all that ruckus on camera. That's what's causing that. I'm taking a tissue and like, you know, blending it out with the tissue, but it's like I'm doing it with too much pressure, I guess. Anyway, I should shut up. Okay, so this is the art piece in day. It looks a bit more vibrant now compared to the nighttime, because you know it's night. So now it has a bit more pop to it. What is up with my throat? It has a bit more pop to it. I was trying to do something with the pencil crayon to make the hair look a bit more droopy, but it wasn't working. I'm gonna have to use markers, and I don't want to use markers because I'm scared of markers. I also realize now that the yellow orange background kinda is blending a bit too much into the hair. I don't like that. I probably should make it darker. I'm showing the bleeding or the bleed that happens on the back of the page compared to the other side. How there's not a lot of, you know, leakage or bleeding on the other side, except for a few dots. Hasn't spread onto like the other page. That happened in my old sketchbook, but whatever. What is past me doing? What is past me doing? Anyway, so this is the end of the video. I hope you like it. Bye.